إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا إنه من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد أما بعد in this life we go through many trials and many tribulations, many challenges and many difficulties. Each one of us and every one of us go through huge challenges which are very difficult for the nafs, which are very difficult for the heart to take, emotionally, mentally, psychologically, and sometimes even physically. Sometimes we become drained due to the sheer pain and agony and even misery we go through in this life. All of us go through it. There is no human being upon the surface of the earth except that they go through huge challenges in their lives, which are emotionally draining. However, a lot of times those emotional drainage that takes place within us is due to our own selves. Is due to what we have done against our own selves. And this realization a lot of times is missed. Allah Jalla wa Ala does say that He will trial you, no doubt about it. Rather, He created this life for nothing else except to try. The essence of this life is trial. But also, Jalla wa Ala said that some of those challenges and difficulties will be brought to yourself by yourselves. We Muslims, no doubt, when you go through pain, when you go through agony, when you go through difficulties, when you go through challenges, no doubt we are meant to seek assistance with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we are meant to find relief with Him Jalla subhanahu wa ta'ala, no doubt, and we do it. Alhamdulillah, I mean, generally we mass Muslims do that. But there is a second layer of that isti'ana. There's a second layer of that seeking assistance, and that is to take lessons, to take heed, to realize the mistakes that we made, and not to commit them again, be it individually, be it as a family, be it as a community, or be it as a society, or be it as a global one ummah. Some of the reasons that we have social ills within humanity at large and within the Muslim community boil down to the diseases of the nafs. The diseases of the nafs. I'll just go through them as a list, but then I'll focus on one disease in particular. The major disease within the ummah at the moment is the disease of hypocrisy, the disease of nifaq. It's the greatest disease ever to exist upon the creation. There is no other disease which is greater than nifaq. And the worst thing is, the non-Muslims can abstain themselves from this worst disease. But we Muslims are open to that disease. And thereby it's a warning to us Muslims not to go down that line, not to tread upon that path. Because once a person goes within that path, it's rare that they repent. It's rare they turn back. Rasulullah gave the most severest warnings in the Quran, explicitly and directly to the munafiqeen. To the munafiqeen. And he prolonged the stories of Bani Israel. He prolonged them in order to make us realize that what happened to Bani Israel will most likely will happen to us, and thereby he forewarned us not to tread the line of nifaq. So that's the first major disease the ummah is facing. Hypocrisy. And inshallah, in my next khutbah, we'll talk about hypocrisy in detail. The other disease is the disease of ujub. We have on the one line, on the one front, the disease of hypocrisy. On the other line, on the other side of the spectrum, we have the disease of ujub. Those who are righteous and who are pious, or who are seen to be righteous, who are seen to be pious, who are seen to be forerunners and leaders of the community, or the leaders of society, or leaders of nations, and they are upright, be it scholars, be it leaders, be it organization leaders, be it chairman, be it the chairman of the masjids, whatever. You find that they have ujub. You find they have amazement within themselves. They are amazed of who they are. They are amazed what they have done, what they have produced, or the position they're in, or the respect they are getting from the community, and so forth and so on. That's a major disease. That's a major disease. That will take all of your deeds to waste. You will not feel the sweetness of Iman and sweetness of Tawheed and sweetness of Ibadat. Worse, you will feel pain inside and you will feel lonely. And eventually people will leave you because you'll go through a trial when the amazement will show through. It will come through. That's a disease the righteous are facing. Then we have another disease which is kibr and arrogance, pride and arrogance. The mass Muslim community are facing this disease. You find brother with a brother, you find sister with a sister, you find families with families, you find they have kibr, you find they have arrogance. And then another disease of hasad, You find there's a lot of envy and jealousy amongst the Muslims. Be it family with family, be it tribe with tribe, be it an ethnicity with another ethnicity. You find jealousy, you find belittling, you find lowering them, feeling superior and feeling higher, and making them feel inferior amongst the Muslims. These diseases will take us nowhere, except it will take us downwards. It doesn't matter how many times the Imam speaks of unity, there will be no unity if we have the diseases amongst ourselves. It doesn't matter how many steps the right people, the upright people take to unite the Ummah, strengthen the Ummah, to make the bond more steadfast. It doesn't matter if you have the same vision and common vision, common mission, it doesn't matter. If you have these diseases at the mass level, and the majority of us have these diseases without us fighting against them, then it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And Jalla wa Ala made that very clear in Surah Al-Shams. وَالشَّمْسِ وَالضُّحَاهَا وَالْقَمَرِ إِذَا تَلَاهَا وَالنَّهَارِ إِذَا جَلَّاهَا, and the verses go on. And Jalla wa Ala made that very clear in those oaths that He took. It was for this surah, was for the Muslims. It's for us. He swore by all of these great creations. Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala says, قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا. قَدْ أَفْلَحَ. He will and they will attain success in this life and the akhirah. The word aflaha is success in a very comprehensive, profound, clear, explicit way. Everyone recognizes you have achieved success. Even your enemy will respect you because you've attained success. That's what aflaha means. It's the utmost peak of success in every perspective, in every angle, from everyone towards everything. There's no other comprehensive word in Arabic language than the word aflah. قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا. In that tafsir of that verse, the scholars have mentioned the diseases that we have to cleanse. We must, as a Muslim, as a community, as a society, as an ummah, we have to cleanse these diseases. The four we just mentioned is a must. We Muslims must cleanse them. We must. There is no ifs and buts regarding hypocrisy. There is no ifs and buts regarding ujb, amazement. There is no ifs and buts regarding kibr, pride and arrogance. There is no ifs and buts regarding jealousy and envy and hatred. There is no ifs and buts. And the last one, the last disease, there's more major ones, but these are the five that all the diseases go back to. The last one is shuh. Shuh. Shuh is greed, stingy, and miserliness. We Muslims, sadly, we have no Muslim economy. There is no such thing called today Muslim economy. You know why? You know the main reason why we don't have the Muslim economy? Is because we have the disease of shuh. We have the disease of shuh. Because nothing can be produced if you have a disease that is anchoring you, that is shackling you. Nothing can be produced. We want to make quick money and then spend also quickly. We want to enjoy this life without an ultimate goal, without a long-term vision. We have no Muslim economy because of this disease of shuh. What is shuh? Shuh is a disease that loves and enjoys luxury for oneself only, and even doesn't want luxury for people who are close to you and beloved to you. It could be your wife, it could be your husband, it could be your parents, it could be your children, it could be your relatives, it could be your beloved ones like your teachers or like your students. But you have a disease where you don't like to spend money on them, where you don't like to give. And even if you're forced to give, or even if you do give because you don't have much options, you don't have many options, you dislike it in your nafs, you dislike it in your heart, you dislike it in your soul. That is shirk. Jalla wa ala again, one of the verses where he spoke about replacement. As an ummah, as a society, he will replace you completely. He spoke after the disease of shirk. الَّذِينَ يَبْخَلُونَ وَيَأْمُرُونَ النَّاسَ بِالْبُخْلِ. In the other verse, Allah says, وَمَنْ يَبْخَلْ فَإِنَّمَا يَبْخَلُ عَنْ نَفْسِهِ. And then he says, وَاللَّهُ الْغَنِيُّ وَأَنْتُمُ الْفُقَرَاءُ إِلَى اللَّهِ وَاللَّهُ الْغَنِيُّ الْحَمِيدُ وَإِنْ تَتَوَلَّوْا يَسْتَبْدِلْ قَوْمًا غَيْرَكُمْ ثُمَّ لَا يَكُونُ أَمْثَالَكُمْ. In those verses, Jalla wa ala spoke about replacement, when he replaces a nation. And he speaks before that a disease. And he says about that disease is shirk. When a person, when a community have shirk at large, Jalla wa ala replaces them. The replacement doesn't mean, my brothers, that we'll become non-Muslim. That's one interpretation. The other replacement is that any aspect of a civilization is given to somebody else. An aspect of our civilization is given to somebody else. The aspect of the Muslim economy is gone, is given to somebody else. The aspect of judiciary system is gone, is given to somebody else. The aspect of a Muslim empire is gone, is given to somebody else. The aspect of power and victory and might is gone, is given to somebody else. It's not simply Allah replace you and take out of the fold of Islam. That's the last and end humiliation. But it also means that He will replace you from your aspects which makes you a great ummah, which makes you a great civilization, which makes you a leader in every aspect of survival and living. It makes you a role model for others to follow. It makes you as a nation a standard bearer in every aspect of life. Now, be honest with yourselves and ask yourselves, how much do you donate weekly in the masajid? And then ask yourself this question. The amount I'm donating in the masajid, or the amount I'm donating here and there, is those amount touching the surface of the diseases of the nafs? Is it scratching it? Because for you to cleanse the disease of the nafs of shirk, you have to dig deep inside your nafs. You have to bring it out, and then you have to keep donating it until it is completely cleansed from your soul, from your nafs, from your heart. The Muslim mass, the amount we donate, will not cleanse our disease of the shirk. And that's why, you see, we have built masajid, alhamdulillah. Wherever we go, Muslims will build our masajid. But you see, the crisis we are facing today is not due to lack of masajid. The crisis we are facing today is not due to lack of masajid. We have enough masajid. But the crises are still there, and they are huge crises. We don't have private schools. Now, those people who build masajids, where were they 30 years ago in thinking long term in building schools? Where were they? Didn't they not have enough money? I don't think so. Didn't they have enough people who had skills? I don't think so. So we think short term, we are ad hoc, we are sporadic, we are random. And thereby, if we start donating, if we have a long-term vision, and if we be relentless in our mission, things we Muslims can do is extraordinary. The Sahaba within 23 years, what they did was extraordinary, not because they only sacrificed themselves, but before they sacrificed their own physical self, they donated a lot. Not because they had lots of money, but because they had a vision in their hearts and minds. They had a vision in their hearts and minds. وأقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله رب العالمين. والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا وإمامنا محمد صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. أما بعد. You see, a nation is actually nationless if they have no economy. If they have no economy, then that nation doesn't have pillars to stand on. He has no pillars to stand on. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, one of the main reasons in Mecca, He asked us to be patient. He asked Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Sahaba to be patient. One of the main reasons is because they did not have enough money. They did not have enough money. And in Medina, when they migrated to Medina, they were making money because Prophet ﷺ started his Muslim economy in the marketplace. There was a marketplace for Ahlul Kitab. Prophet ﷺ, after established the Masjid, straight away within that migration, within those 2 weeks, ﷺ established a marketplace for the Muslims. And he laid down the foundations of tijara, business, and then the Sahaba encouraged the Sahaba to become business people, whilst they had the professions of the state under Prophet ﷺ, and then the Muslim economy began to trickle down, then eventually began to boom within a couple of years. Then they had enough money to do whatever they want to do. We Muslims must think far. We have to think like one ummah. We have to plan like one ummah, and we have to establish ourselves like one ummah. We can't be sporadic, we can't be random, we can't be ad hoc. We can't just think of the present and not have the past or the future in mind. If you can't think, go to people who can think. If you can't plan, go to people who can plan. If you don't know the economic system, go to the people who do know the economic system. But there is a system out there for the Muslims. For everything, we Muslims have it. It's about going to the upright people, learning from them, studying from them, organizing from them, strategizing from them, and then working collectively as an ummah to establish for the betterment of the whole larger society. What happened in New Zealand is not something new. And it was coming. It was coming. But the question is, were we Muslims prepared? Are we Muslims prepared now in UK? Are we prepared? We're not. So who will be responsible? Can we Muslims blame others? Will Allah blame others? Will Allah take us into account? People who understand, people who realize, people who have the vision, people who have the money. Allah will question us. Because we are responsible of our ummah, and we are also responsible for the humanity of Allah. He will question us. You will do no good by ducking your head, sticking it down in the sand, and going home and come to the masjid. As long as you're Muslim, you are accountable. As long as you believe in Allah and the last day and Jannah and Nar, Allah will take you into account. He will ask you. So it's about time we make money, my brothers and sisters. It's about time we liaise with the people who have the vision, who have the mission, and who are relentless in establishing justice upon the surface of the earth, harmony upon the surface of the earth. Let me give you quick steps to make money for the sake of Allah. First and foremost, intend barakah in your lives. If you don't intend for something, you will not get it. If you don't make dua for something, you will not get it. First, intend barakah, not wealth. Because the thing about Muslims is that we gain wealth very quickly and we establish ourselves very quickly. Not because of wealth in of itself, but because there's an intention behind that wealth which is greater than wealth, and that's barakah. So intend barakah before wealth. Secondly, become entrepreneurs, become pioneers in business. Don't follow somebody else. Don't copy and paste. Muslims were never people of copy and paste. We were always thinkers. We had brilliant minds because we thought, not because we closed our minds. So become entrepreneurs and become pioneers. There's always this notion that there's a risk in becoming an entrepreneur. You may lose your money. Remember this, the risk of you being employed is greater, not only losing your money, but making your future uncertain. Every time you become employed, you become enslaved to others, and you become dependent upon others. You also lose the causes you are able to do and perform. The causes in your heart, you can't do anymore, because you don't have enough time, you don't have enough energy, and you don't have money. But when you become independent financially, you become an entrepreneur, you go out there, you make money, gather a team, you have ideas, you share ideas. Sooner or later, if you don't make money, your team will make money. And then, if you can't give to the causes of your heart, the team will give money, a lot of money, to the causes of the heart. In this masjid that was built, yes, a lot of people donated. But there was one or two or three people, because they are entrepreneurs, because they are business people, they donated a lot of money in this masjid. And this goes across the board. And Muslims, all of the Muslims, always, they have the mindset of entrepreneurship. Always. It's just last couple of 100 years, we've lost it. Third, so firstly, intend barakah. Secondly, become entrepreneurs and no employees. Thirdly, gather a team around you. Gather a team around you who are experts in business and start making small businesses, start with small ones before you jump to big ones. And lastly, make dua for the ummah to become wealthy and prosperous. Because once we become wealthy and prosperous, we can then establish what is close to our heart, from justice to harmony. We can establish our masajid, we can establish our schools, we can establish our institutions, we can establish all the other matters that we need to establish and we aim to establish. اللهم ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا اللهم ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا اللهم ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين اللهم ربنا أفرغ علينا صبرا وثبت أقدامنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين اللهم ربنا اغفر لنا ولإخواننا الذين سبقونا بالإيمان ولا تجعل في قلوبنا غلا للذين آمنوا ربنا إنك رؤوف رحيم اللهم ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما اللهم ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما اللهم ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما ربنا هب لنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم أعز المسلمين، اللهم أعز المسلمين، اللهم أعز المسلمين.